She said to go ahead.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Charlie said.
Okay. I call to order the business meeting of the Beaverton School Board on August 12th, 2025 at 7 p.m. All 7 board members are present. Um, We will now review the agenda. Board members, if anyone wants to propose making a change to the agenda or pull an item out of the agenda, this is the time to do so. Are there any changes to the agenda anyone would like to request?
Chair Gog, I would like to pull the item from the consent agenda for the Westview High School turf design.
Thank you. The contract authorization for Westview High School baseball, softball, multi-use synthetic turf design is removed from the consent agenda and will be addressed separately after voting on the rest of the consent agenda. With those changes, the agenda is approved. We now move to swearing in our new elected board members, Dr. Van Trong and Syed Qasim. Dr. Balderas will administer the oath of office to each new board member in turn, starting with Dr. Trong. Dr. Trong and Dr. Balderas, will you please step forward for the oath of office?
So thank you, Dr. Trong. I'm going to state these words, if you can repeat after me, and I'll go slowly. So I, and then state your name,
Van Trong,
do solemnly swear to affirm
do solemnly swear to affirm
that I will support the laws and constitutions,
that I will
support the laws
support the law
and constitutions of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the state of Oregon,
and the state of Oregon,
and that I will faithfully discharge,
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duty of my office
as a member of the Board of Directors
as a member of board director
of the Beaverton School District
of Beaverton School District
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
for the term July 1,
for the term July 1,
2025 through June 30, 2029.
2025 to June 30th, 2029
For position number 1.
for position number 1.
Thank you, and welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. Thank you. Can you take a group picture? Let me bring your family.
Oh, family?
Yeah.
Family picture?
Want to bring everybody?
Yes.
Shelley?
Family picture, please.
You want to bring everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, do we all come? Or let's take one with the family first. Yeah, let's take one with the family. And then we can do with the whole board.
Oh, just me and the family?
First one with you and the family, and then we can take one with the board.
Do you guys want to just sign
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
There we go. Then everyone, and then everyone's around her. I see little ones in the back that I can't see. Go. Family. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Thank you. My All right, you're gonna need to 2 steps forward, 1 more step forward, and then scrunch it. All right, that's a little closer to Melissa. Go. 1, 2, 3.
sir.
Syed. Yeah, next.
Yeah, one more. And again, this is we swore them in already. This is more formal and in public for the families as well. So just thank you. You want have your daughters come up? Please, come on. Get the little one. Come on, you can do it. Come on.
She's got a mind of her own.
Ready? I state your name.
I, Sayed Qasim,
Do solemnly swear to affirm
do solemnly swear to affirm
that I will support the laws and constitutions
that I will support the laws and constitutions
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the state of Oregon,
and the state of Oregon,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
as a member of the Board of Directors of the Beaverton School District
as a member of the Board of Directors of the Beaverton School District
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
for the term July 1, 2025
with the term July 1, 2025
through June 30, 2029
through June 30, 2029
in position number 5.
in position number 5.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. And then you come up to my dad. I need a wider angle lens. It's all right, I'm gonna make it work. All right, we're gonna have to make a couple rows. If you're tall, you will make 2 rows in the back. Okay, guys, we I'll take it. All right. There. Okay. Ready?
Look at the camera and not at yourself.
All right. I have everyone. 1, 2, 3. We'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. I think that's the Works. All right. Now, board.
Oh.
I guess we can do it.
There we go. And then 1 step over. Perfect. Chair. Madam Chair. There we go. I was so wide before. I need to get back. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Thank you. And also for those in the audience, we do have 2 board members that were reelected. Our board chair, Sunita Gar, and board member, Dr. Karen Perez as well. So really give it up for the entire board, for your service. So thank you.
We'll take pictures later with our family. Yeah. Sure, why not?
Karen, if you want to. Okay.
I'm okay. I know there's a baby. I know, like,
You want to be front and center?
You want us to end?
just they have it. Yeah, we're trying to like. Stage right.
You stand with grandma?
Thank you, Shelley. Okay. So tonight, the district recognizes Michael Schofield for his outstanding achievement and contributions to Beaverton School District and the community. Mike, will you make your way to the presenters table, please? Mike Schofield, Associate Superintendent for Business Services, has received the Outstanding Service Award from the Oregon Association of School Business Officials. Mike has spent over 36 years serving Oregon students, the last 6 in BSD. Here is an excerpt from his nomination. Mike's resume includes leadership through multiple economic downturns, from the Great Recession to the COVID-19 pandemic, always keeping students at the center and financial stability as a top priority. But what truly sets Mike apart is his ability to make complex things understandable. He has a gift for taking the tangled web of school budgets and turning it into something that's clear and meaningful for administrators, school boards, and community members alike. Whether he's giving a live presentation or recording a budget update, his message is always grounded, accessible, and focused on what matters most, our students. I've had many conversations and heard many presentations from Mike, and I have to agree. Congratulations, Mike. Would you like to say a few words about your award and your work?
Thank you. You're very kind. And those of you that know me know I don't really like this kind of recognition, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Just to annoy you.
At first I thought she said great depression.
It could have been.
It could have been. It could have been. Gotta. Melissa, do you want to hold? There you go. All right. Ready? 1, 2. Okay.
Next, we will have some comments by the superintendent, Dr. Balderas.
Thank you, Board Gar. It's been a busy summer with construction and facilities activities. We currently have 111 bond projects that are active. So I want to thank the bond team and the construction folks for all their work this summer. And Casey, thank you for your leadership in that. During summer, our support services staff work incredibly hard on a tight timeline to get heavy workloads completed, and this summer's been no differently. From technology to human resources to facilities, all those who work 12-month contracts, it's just a heavy lift when students leave till they return, which is less than 2 weeks away, so they'll be in our buildings. The Long Range Facilities Planning Committee has been convening and will continue to meet to discuss our facilities and impact on enrollment on these facilities and make recommendations for potential undertaking this year. These recommendations will come to me and we will review what is feasible. And we hope that this includes looking at boundary changes to keep kids intact. One of the things is we have a not aligned system where we have elementary kids that maybe are broken in middle school and go back to a specific high school. It'd be great to look at intact cohorts of kids and so we can keep kids and friends together and community together, and also look at level boundary changes that also possibly level enrollment. Because we have some schools that are large, some schools that are small. There's some opportunity here to maybe look at that, and it's going to take some time to do. Also look at program moves to hopefully increase enrollment at our schools. There's always opportunity to look at increase enrollment. And lastly, something that's not popular, but something that's impacting nationally is school consolidations. Portland Public, Salem Kaiser, Corvallis, Ben Lapine, and many, many other school districts are facing that. It's not a popular decision, but it's a decision that's going to take time to do, And this will take months to process, because once they get their recommendations, this is going to come to our board, to our community, and have a tremendous amount of community input, and finally, make a decision in terms of where we want to be as a school district. So I don't foresee any action by this board until possibly the fall of '27, because it takes months for a district this size to look at boundary changes. It takes months to do that. I've done it in other districts. We did it together, Casey and I, when we worked in Hillsborough. It took 2 years, to do boundary changes to align. It's going to take a long time to do that. So we're not in a rush to do things. We want to do them right. We want to do them with community input. We want to do them in a manner that is respectful to everybody, and we will do that. But it's going to take time. So be patient. I know there's a lot of disinformation out there right now. A lot of disinformation. That is not accurate. Nothing will happen, I predict, until fall of 2027. So, again, I appreciate the board for their actions and their concern on this topic. And as we decline enrollment, we only have so many options. I want to welcome our TDU board members for giving up your time in this non-paid position but really for dedicating yourselves to better the school district, for better our kids and for our faculty that work so hard each and every day. We have 6,000 faculty, if you count each person that gets a paycheck. We have 6,000 faculty, and they work hard each and every day to do the best we can with our kids each and every day. So I want to thank you for your commitment to our community and look forward to working with you this year. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Valderez. Next up, we have the comments by our employee groups. First, I would like to ask Katie Lukens from BEA to come and give her, and then Kirsty Sackman from OSCA.
Good evening, Chair Gard, members of the board, Superintendent Balderas, and members of our community. My name is Katie Lukens. I'm an elementary school teacher here in Beaverton, and I speak to you tonight for the first time as the president of the Beaverton Education Association. I want to begin by hoping that everyone had a restful and rejuvenating summer. We all know how much this matters because this work ahead of us is nothing short of vital. I also want to welcome the new members of the board. This year, you will face many hard and important decisions that will shape the future of our schools. We hope that you make those decisions, you center the needs and desires of the community that you serve. As a BEA, we value open communication and collaboration. I invite each of you to have regular conversations with us, and we would love to schedule monthly meetings with every board member to ensure that we are working together to support our students and our educators. Open, frequent, and transparent communication between elected officials and their community are vital to success. Yesterday, we welcomed our newest educators to Beaverton. Next week, all educators return, and the week after that, our students. In these next few days and weeks, you'll find us in our classrooms, our libraries, and learning spaces, arranging, decorating, organizing, and planning to make them warm, inclusive, and inspiring. We want every student to feel they belong from the moment they walk through our doors. But we don't just prepare spaces, we prepare opportunities. And often we do it with our own wallets and on unpaid time. Nationwide, the average teacher spends $853.90 out of their own pocket each year on classroom supplies. Everything from pencils and papers to books that reflect our students' identities to science materials and little extras that bring joy and connection into learning. We do it because we love our students, but that doesn't mean it's right. More than ever, we need to come together as a community and give our students what they need, because it can no longer be solely on the backs of our educators to shoulder this cost alone. Our public schools deserve full funding so that no educator has to choose between paying their bills and providing for their students. This work, the work of public education, is the foundation of a strong community. A great public school system benefits all of us, whether or not we have a child in the classroom. It prepares the next generation of thinkers, leaders, workers, and neighbors, and it is under threat. Right now, the federal administration is working to dismantle the systems that protect our students and ensure that their education is equitable and inclusive. That's why it's time for all of us to lean in, to to stand shoulder to shoulder as educators, families, elected officials, and community members. If we want to have a village, we have to be the villagers. If we want community, we have to build community. Our tax dollars are meant to be invested in us, in our classrooms, our students, and our public schools, not siphoned away from them. Tonight, the board is authorizing the search for our next superintendent to begin. This process must prioritize educator, student, and community voice every step of the way. We need a leader who understands that building great schools takes all of us. Someone ready to stand alongside educators, family, and the community to be those villagers and build that community. We want a superintendent who will work with us to make Beaverton schools the schools our students deserve. Schools where every child is supported, challenged, and inspired to reach their fullest potential. Because at the end of the day, this is simple. Our students get one shot at their education. We cannot afford to shortchange them, and we will not stand by while the systems meant to protect and support them are dismantled. Beaverton's educators are ready to fight for our students, and we expect our leaders and our community to stand with us. Our future depends on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Good evening. Good evening, Chair Garg and members of the school board. For the record, are you thirsty? I'm Kirsty. I am the Oregon School Employees Association Beaverton Chapter 48 President-elect. For the short version, OSCA Beaverton Chapter President. For BSD, I am a roving Para 3 in special education. I'd like to say hello and welcome and congratulations to our newest school board, and welcome back to our members who were re-elected onto the school board. Also say hello to some of our new people on our board. And I want to say a big congratulations to Katie and Troy and BEA on becoming the next union leaders. Excited to work alongside of you here in Beaverton. Union siblings, stay in solidarity, and I'm excited to see what we can do together to continue to grow our units. Sorry, kind of struggling where I want to start here. We, as OSCA, want to say a big thank you to our school board members for the specialty meeting you held at the end of July to help make sure that we could vote in our ratified contract for 25 through 28. So thank you. We're very excited to have that going through. We are very excited and thank the school district and the dedicated members of our OCA bargaining team and our executive board for all of the dedicated work. We bargained back-to-back contracts. And it was definitely a long road, but we feel we got some really exciting wins and some great starts that we hope to continue growing and working through. We want to say thank you to everyone who's worked, and we want to say thank you to all the classified staff that work here at DAO that are working tirelessly to adjust all the pay for our COLA and our insurance caps. We know that's a big feat as people change jobs, if we modify these great wins, but we know that it takes a lot of classified work to dedicate these checks and these payroll and these big things that it's not why we come to work, but it's the things we need to get to work. So we want to say thank you to them, and we're really excited. For anyone who's excited about our new contract, I know many people have been reaching out where to read it. We're still waiting to finalize all the officials, but we're hoping by Labor Day we should have our new contract all buttoned up and ready to go, and we will make sure that that is sent out to all of our classified staff so we can read some amazing wins like adding just cause, upgrading a safety article, which is a really big one. I would encourage all classified staff to go check out our new safety article, as well as looking into just cause as well as many other good wins. As we descend into our 25-26 school year and prepare for our students to be back in buildings, I want to give a big shout out to all the classified and dedicated workers that continued working all summer long, that never took a break, that continued supporting summer education, access to summer meals, refreshing, cleaning, organizing our schools and buildings and sites, as well as all the dedicated planning, computer work, assessments, changes, and all the things I don't understand about an office job that happened all over this district, and many, many other positions that continued working. I do want to give also a shout out to this very hot summer and our dedicated custodial maintenance, grounds, facilities, crews, everyone I'm not going to remember to mention, for all your dedicated work and for working out in the heat. As we No, classified staff have been started rolling in back to work, the ones that maybe did have some time off. And our buildings are already filling up with classified, as well as we know more and more educators are starting next week and our students the week after. We would really like to call out that we hope our district is being mindful to be paying attention to the HVAC conditions in our buildings, where we're leaving workers, where we've already left workers over the summer in spaces that were not safe, that were not given extra breaks, water, access to responsible working conditions in the heat, and making sure that everyone from old employees to new employees were aware of what needs to be done to take care of themselves. We really just hope that, as we know, our summer without students is ending, but the weather summer is not over. So we really encourage the district to please be mindful about looking into, as we are putting more and more bodies in these buildings, how much we're paying attention to the reality of heat index in our classrooms. We know it affects our students, and that's a big priority, but also remember to take care of our staff as well. And I hope that we can continue to give them half of the love, respect, and dignity that they give our students every single day. You'll be hearing from me more again soon. Thank you.
Thank you. It is now the time to hear comments from our community. As a reminder, this is a time when members of the public can comment to the board, and the board will actively listen but will not be responding or answering any questions. We appreciate you being here today. The board welcomes public comments virtually or in person from up to 10 people who sign up before the meeting. When more than 10 people request to speak, priority is given to students, district residents, speakers who have not already provided public comment during a recent meeting, and the variety of topics. Comments can be submitted in writing. We received 9 requests to provide public comment tonight. The 9 speakers will be Cynthia Full-Wider, Justin Stark, Stephanie Silver, Samantha Patterson, Kayla Zetterberg, Cynthia Cristofani, Erin Harper, Doug Rinno, and Charles Henderson. Only the people I named are allowed to speak. Each speaker will have up to 2 minutes to share your thoughts. Your time cannot be shared or given to another person. We have a timer on the screen. When your 2 minutes are up, you must stop speaking and make way for the next person. Your microphone will be turned off if you go over. The school board does not hear complaints or charges against individuals. This means that we will end your testimony if you name a staff member, board member, or committee member in your testimony. Personnel matters and complaints should be resolved by communicating directly with the employee, their supervisor, or through the district complaint process found on our website. We ask everyone in attendance to model respectful behavior and remember that we have students as well as staff and community here in person and watching online. Our first speaker is Cynthia Full-Wider. Cynthia, please come up to the front table and please take a seat in front of one of the microphones. Justin Stark, you will be the next speaker after Cynthia. Please come forward to the front row of the seats and be ready to go next. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Cynthia Full-Wider. I did not know that I was going to be speaking tonight, so I apologize if I'm nervous. We live in Beaverton School District. My daughter is currently about to start 2nd grade at El Monica Elementary, and I'll have another daughter going into kindergarten next year. And I guess I'm just here to explain my experience of going from a bigger school, where everyone's packed in together, into a smaller school. My daughter started kindergarten at Aloha Huber Park, not this last year, but year before last. And while her teacher was wonderful, and I appreciate her doing everything possible for my child, it was very overwhelming, even for a 30-something-year-old adult walking into that building and thinking I had college buildings smaller than this campus. I had to just drop her off at the door first day of kindergarten, and I hope you make it to your classroom okay, because I'm not allowed in there. be multiple times at pickup where students are just running off to every cars. Hopefully they make it to their parents. Hopefully no one takes them that they're not supposed to. And it was just very, just kind of like eye-opening going from that to Monica, where everybody knows my child's name. They all know me as Scarlett's mom. And the teachers all know my child, and they care about my child. The staff knows my child and cares about her. They're already learning about her younger sister, ready for her to go in. And the community they have at that school is nothing you can replace. Coming as a child of the 90s, seeing that El Monica and what it brings to the students, I would support schools like that every day. And hopefully every child gets to experience that one day. Thank you.
The next speaker is Justin Stark, followed by Stephanie.
Do I need to push this? Oh, no, it's on. Hi, my name is Justin Stark. I am a father of 4 children here in the Beaverton School District. I grew up in the area. I myself went to Hillsborough schools. My mother went to Beaverton High School. We've been here for quite a while. We love public schools in our family. I think the last time I addressed this board, I spoke about the importance of abundance and making decisions to support abundance. I think we are going to continue to be, as Katie said, at crossroads again and again and again, both as community members, as families, as individuals, and especially y'all who have been elected by your community to represent us. Those decisions that you make will be difficult, and I respect and appreciate the time that you devote without pay to those decisions. However, I want to also remind this board that less than 2 years ago, you yourselves, many of you who were on the board, not all, voted to excise a minimum school support fee for this district, meaning that you had an option to increase funding in the state of Oregon. And this board chose to follow the advice of the Chamber of Commerce, the business lobby for our community, to excise the minimum school support fee for our schools. So there might be times where you make difficult decisions and it's easy to wring your hands and imagine that this is out of your control. But I want you to recognize that nobody in the city of Beaverton or the surrounding area has more power than you with most of these decisions. And I express my concern, but also my confidence that you can make difficult choices, even when it's difficult, even when it means you're putting yourself at some risk, because we don't have many other options right now. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of community members recently, and I know that there's a community around you that are willing to support you and rally in that fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. The next speaker is Stephanie Silver, followed by Samantha.
Good evening, and thank you for the comments on the process committing to looking at cohorts, boundaries, level enrollment, and programs. To bring integrity to our facilities planning process, I urge you to commission a working group led by education experts to update our K-5 ed spec for the urgent challenges we face here in 2025. Our current ed spec of 750 was set in 2014 when a previous planning committee faced rapid enrollment growth and limited land on which to build. It was a practical facilities-based choice for that time, but it was not rooted in student outcomes. Today, our challenges have changed. With enrollment now shrinking and fiscal pressures ahead, we need a standard built for current challenges and Beaverton's future. Our ed spec is an outlier, 20% larger than the next biggest in the region, which is standard at 400 to 600. At a time when maintaining enrollment matters more than ever, this decision directly affects our ability to attract and retain families who value the community connection found in mid-sized schools, like you heard. Without an ed spec that's based in student outcomes, the planning committee currently assembled risks recreating the conditions at some of our lowest performing Title I schools like Beaver Acres, where test scores, attendance, and staff turnover are among the worst in the district. The community has called for this review in both BRIC listening sessions and the recent survey, where almost 30% of comments mention the EdSpec. The committee currently lacks educational expertise. We need educators who understand how to achieve strong student outcomes to lead the work with facilities and finance and other stakeholders contributing. It's not about big or small schools. It's about finding the right size for our district, large enough for strong programs and fiscal viability, small enough to sustain connection, engagement, and high attendance, especially for our most vulnerable students. Updating the EdSpec will bring the district community closer to a shared definition of what good looks like and allow us to build trust along the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. The next speaker is Samantha Patterson, followed by Kayla.
Hello. Hi, my name is Samantha. I'm the parent of an autistic student in this district, and I'm here to speak about restraint, seclusion, and a dangerous loophole via the social emotional curriculum zones of regulation. My son Zeke was repeatedly placed in isolation, sometimes in what was called the yellow room or the red room. But whatever name you give it, the experience was the same. He was alone, separated from peers, and not allowed to leave. These practices cause trauma, destroy trust, and stall academic progress. I've seen it all firsthand. In our district, some schools use color-coded regulation rooms that relate to the social-emotional curriculum zones of regulation. On paper, they are calming spaces. In practice, they can and do function as informal seclusion. Because these incidents aren't labeled as seclusion, the district avoids the lawful parent communication requirements of OAR 581-021-0568, including contacting parents within 24 hours and holding debriefing meetings within 2 school days to address causes and mitigate reoccurrence. That's not transparency, it's a loophole that hides what's really happening to our children. I'm asking the board to close the loophole, define seclusion by the experience, a student isolated, unable to leave, and away from peers, not just by the label in the room. Commit to transparent reporting and oversight so parents know when their children are removed from the classroom, no matter what it's called. Accurate reporting isn't just about transparency for parents. It also ensures the district has the correct data to get to state and federal funding support for evidence-based alternatives. Right now, this loophole hides the real need. Every child, including mine, deserves safety, dignity, and honesty. If we can't guarantee that, then our policies are protecting the system, not the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. The next speaker is Kayla Zetterberg, followed by Cynthia.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is Kayla Zetterberg, and I am the PTO president for Kinnaman Elementary School located in Zone 4. Joining me is our PTO teacher liaison, kindergarten teacher Sapphire Dorfman. I'm returning this year once again to express my frustrations with the custodial fees and new fees that have been imposed on us with the new reservation system, Facilitron. We are being charged outrageous fees to rent the same location that our PTO fundraises for, and this just seems unreasonable. Our PTO budget cannot support these fees, and this is taken away from our students. We believe that every child deserves to have events and opportunities regardless of their economic status. These fees for not only Kinnaman, but all Title I schools do not align with BSD's pillar of equity. Some of these things that Kinnaman PTO raises funds for are buses for field trips, which is about $3,000 yearly, community nights and classroom funds to supplement our students' learning, and out-of-pocket purchases our teachers make every year. The cost of the new fees alone would prevent us from giving these opportunities to our students, and without it, Kinnaman students and families would miss out. Using Carnival as an example, there is an application fee of $25, a building monitor fee of $105, custodial fee of $280, cafeteria fee of $90, a gym fee of $150, an outdoor covered area of $60, and a fee for using the parking lot for $140. This comes out to $850, and to be frank, our PTO just cannot afford this. Our free trunk or treat event would cost us $450 to put on, or $445. And that's just to rent the parking lot. Even if the fees were reduced to only the custodial fees, we have 6 planned events that are at the school that would total $1,680 in fees. This would make our PTO have to make tough decisions on what we would have to cut. After all the hard work to make Kinnaman a place of belonging, it is disheartening to be faced with this reality. At some point, Beaverton School District will need to intervene to make school experience equal for the students in Title I and non-Title I student or schools. As a starting point, we ask that the fees of any kind be assessed for Title I schools and be waived. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. The next speaker is Cynthia Cristofani, followed by Aaron.
Yes. I've previously written to school board members, every one of the original school board, and I've also spoken about my passion for neighborhood schools and the social and educational benefits they provide, particularly for the youngest students. But today I wanted to talk about logistics of transportation. When you combine schools into a mega school and have a much larger catchment area, it's inevitable that many students will no longer live within close range. My two grandchildren currently walk every day to McKay. And my daughter and her husband chose their home partly because McKay and their to-be middle school were both within walking range. If you instead combine multiple schools, then the transportation logistics become a real problem. The younger children cannot ride their bikes, cannot walk that far. So there are two possibilities. One is family cars, and that's a huge burden on working parents to drive their children to and from school every day. Never mind the terrible traffic jams that result. And I will tell you, the intersection near Raleigh Hulls is already a traffic disaster. Never mind having countless parents trying to get their children to school or home from school every day. The other option is school buses. And for young children, that means getting up earlier, standing on the corner in the dark in the winter, spending many more minutes of their days on a bus instead of at home or at school. And it also means that they probably can't participate in after-school activities unless there's somebody available to drive them home because the buses won't be running. So their ability to stay involved in their school is going to be compromised because they have to go home when the buses take them home. So I would encourage you to think about preserving neighborhood schools and avoiding the logistic disasters of mega schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. The next speaker is Aaron Harper, followed by Doug.
Hello, thank you for having me. My name is Erin Harper, and I'm a BSD parent and a Zone 1 representative on the Long Range Facility Planning Committee. And I'm here to talk about the Long Range Facility Planning Committee, as I fear it's being steered towards what we don't want, which is school consolidation, rather than following the holistic process that was outlined at the beginning. At the most recent meeting, the committee was presented with a detailed presentation about small school challenges with a really heavy focus on Southeast Beaverton. When a committee member suggested that we look at all schools more holistically, they were told that was scope creep. We haven't been given clear budget constraints, enrollment projections, or success metrics that I feel would allow this committee to generate innovative solutions. Instead, of being asked, how might we address the financial challenges while preserving community values? It feels like we're being led to a certain conclusion, which is we need to close small schools. I think this ignores, as other people have talked about, the challenges, especially with Title I schools, which we all know have different needs from a success metric standpoint. I know a majority of you have spoken publicly about how school closure should be a last resort. So I'm asking you, the board, to provide the committee with really clear constraints and success metrics, such as requiring multiple solutions that are not school consolidation as part of the final report. Without this, I'm afraid that, again, you'll only get solutions that result in school consolidation. And without that, I worry that trust will only further be broken between Beaverton School District, the admin, the board, and the community, making it harder for bonds to get passed in the future. So our community deserves a process that generally explores all opportunities and possibilities, and I know you can help there. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. The next speaker is Doug, followed by Charles.
Good evening, board, staff, and community members. My name is Doug Renault. I'm married to a BSD teacher and very lucky to be the stepdad for two awesome kids who attend BSD schools. We have watched with disappointment and frustration, if not surprise, as the board undertook investigations this year against two of its members, Dr. Tammy Carpenter and Susan Greenberg. I believe both of these investigations were a waste of time, money, and energy. Dr. Carpenter was investigated for posts she made on her personal social media accounts, calling attention to the genocide that is happening in Palestine right now. The implication was that these posts were somehow harmful to our Jewish students and community. While it is absolutely true that there have been numerous reports of anti-Semitism in our community in recent months, a BSD student even provided heartbreaking testimony about this in a meeting earlier this spring. It is not true that calling Israel's war on and occupation of Palestine exactly what it is amounts to anti-Semitic remarks. Ms. Greenberg was investigated for an op-ed she wrote for the Beaverton Valley Times. In this piece, she stated a number of lies about BSD teachers, including the lie that teachers were providing instruction on how to pray in the Muslim faith. While I disagreed wholeheartedly with the premises of Ms. Greenberg's piece, it seemed just as ridiculous to me that she was investigated as it was that Dr. Carpenter was. I am grateful that the board did not find Dr. Carpenter violated any board policies, but disheartened that it took this investigation to reach that conclusion. I know the board does not answer questions in these meetings, but I would love to know exactly how much money the district spent on these pointless investigations, all while complaining about not having enough money to keep smaller community schools open. You can't have it both ways. And if district leadership truly believes there is misinformation floating around about plans to close schools or redraw boundaries, then maybe the district can reflect on how they are communicating their actions to students, parents, teachers, staff, and community members.
Thank you, Doug. Our final speaker is Charles Henderson, and I would like to make a request if we cannot name people when you're giving testimony.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Charlie Henderson, and I'm a resident of Beaverton. I'm here this evening because I demand answers regarding the investigation launched against a fellow board member over their public support for our Palestinian brothers and sisters. First, as a local taxpayer, how much did this investigation cost? Second, the board members that voted in favor of launching this investigation have an obligation to share what they saw that they found so horrendous so as to vote in favor of going after a peer's First Amendment rights. Third, now that this independent investigation has concluded that there was no wrongdoing, what is this board going to do to actively educate not only the students of our district on what is happening right now, but more embarrassingly, yourselves? Day after day, for nearly 2 years, millions of us in this country have woken up to the news of countless innocent men, women, children, and babies that have been slaughtered by the Israeli military with U.S. weapons. Starting in March, Israel established a complete blockade of all aid from getting into Gaza, leading to widespread starvation and the many diseases that come along with it. I have personally watched children and babies completely emaciated due to this blockade and the destruction of aid by settler terrorists, breathing their last breaths with empty looks in their eyes. Innocent life that is being purposefully bombed, burned, shot, crushed, and starved to death. This has all been done with our tax dollars and with the backing of our supposed representatives. And the idea that this board or any elected official gets to pretend that they weren't aware of the world's first live-stream genocide, or that it's outside the bounds of what they consider polite conversation, exposes not only a complete lack of moral and intellectual curiosity, but a cowardice to face injustice head-on. And just because a member of the community lodges a complaint doesn't mean that there's any merit in said complaint. And just because this board wants to exist in a privileged state where you don't have to trouble yourselves with videos of babies being starved and incinerated, or the fact that our government is complicit in the murder of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, doesn't mean that that genocide isn't occurring. Educate yourselves. Please do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Now we will move to consent agenda. Do we have a motion to move consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda as submitted, minus the items that were removed.
Second.
Any discussion? With that, we can vote on it. Everybody who agrees to say yes for the consent agenda, please, please raise your hand and say yes.
Yes?
Yes. And all 7 board members have agreed and so consent agenda is approved. Now we will have a motion for the Westview High School baseball, softball, multi-use synthetic turf. Do we have a motion to have that approved or?
I move to approve the contract authorized for the Westview High School baseball, softball, multi-use synthetic turf as submitted.
Second.
Can we discuss about that? Yes, Dr. Carpenter.
Thank you. Just briefly, for benefit of the new school board members, I routinely vote against new installation of turf. The players, professional players, unions work really hard to try and get turf removed because of the orthopedic injuries associated with artificial turf. The question of microplastics, both in our environment and potentially impacting our personal, the health of our students playing on this, are reasons that I routinely vote against it and don't have to belabor it. And I'm happy to discuss offline at some point with some of the new school board members, but that's the reason that I choose to do that. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Carpenter. But because this is the first time with the new board members, I would like Casey to put in what our reasoning is behind going this and that bond, it was approved in the bond, and have you heard of any injuries or anything?
I'm not aware of any additional injuries. This was part of the 2022 bond campaign. The Westview project is the last of our 6 comprehensive high schools to get the baseball, softball fields installed. All the others have been installed already, and this will be the last one for baseball, softball.
Does anybody have any questions? Dr. Perez?
And I don't know if it's a question, but Casey, I know that for the new board members as well, you had let us know that we follow certain Oregon Health Authority or other pieces to talk about how the safety of our students is not being compromised in this case from the research that's been done.
Yeah, there have been comprehensive studies. One just released, I think maybe a year ago, regarding turf fields and the safety of it. There are no violations or bans in the state of Oregon or other states regarding the installation of turf fields. Many of our peers, many of our schools already have the turf installed and has provided a year-round multi-purpose facility for our students.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions, comments? Okay, with that, everybody agrees to approve this contract. Raise your hand and say yes.
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 And
Yes.
we have 6 board members saying yes, and anybody objecting to it? Please
No.
say- Dr. Carpenter is voting no on that. With the majority of 6-1, this contract is now approved. So next up, as you all know, that this year we will be doing the superintendent search. And the board leadership proposes that the board establish an ad hoc committee of the board to support the superintendent search process. As a reminder, such committees are temporary, not standing committees. Once the assignment is complete, the committee is dissolved. Committees gather information and make recommendations to the board. They do not have the power to act for the board except as specifically authorized and will comply with Oregon public meeting laws. Per board policy, committee members are appointed by the board chair, and the committee will be tasked to work and with district staff to issue a solicitation for proposals for executive search services, review submissions, and recommend finalist firms to be considered by the board. Once the board has reviewed submissions and selected a search consultant, the committee will work with the consultant to develop and recommend the superintendent's search process and timeline. Final decisions will be made by the full board. Do we have a motion to select, to have a superintendent subcommittee, search subcommittee?
I move to establish the superintendent search committee as proposed.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussions? Anybody have any questions? Director Kassim?
Will we be given any additional information about how the committee would operate and organize in terms of providing updates to the larger board, or with what frequency or anything at a subsequent time?
Yes. Once we form the committee, what the subcommittee decides, everything will be, the information will be provided at every step. We haven't decided. Right now, we are just voting on forming a subcommittee for the search of the superintendent.
Thank you.
And Dr. Carpenter?
Thank you. And will board members that are not on the search committee have input into their opinions on what would make a good search firm? So we would be participating in that.
Yes, for sure.
Great, thank you.
Anybody else? With no further questions, let's take a vote to form a subcommittee, superintendent search subcommittee. Everybody agreeing to say yes, raise your hands and say yes.
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 Yes. All 7 board members have said yes, so we will form a subcommittee. Since it's the board chair who decides who's going to be in the subcommittee, so traditionally we have had the leadership. So it will be myself, Justice, and the third person will be Dr. Trong. Dr. Trong, do you agree? Would you? Yes.
Yes, I accept. Thank you.
Thanks. Now we have items for future action. Items for action, we did that. Items for action at a future meeting.
Good evening, School Board, Superintendent Balderas, and welcome to our 2 new school board members. This is the portion where staff bring forward policies for the board's consideration. We bring them first to you to consider, ask questions, and then they will come back for a vote in the following month for approval. So tonight we have 3 policies that we're bringing forward for folks to consider. I'll start with Board Policy BBBA, Board Member Qualifications. Here you'll see that there is just an alignment of the pronouns to align that to using gender-neutral pronouns in that one. The next policy we're bringing for your consideration is IGBHE. This is the Expanded Options Programs Policy. These changes have been recommended to us by OSBA to align the language better to statutory changes around understanding expanded options programs and the definitions and the different requirements. So that's what you see in that policy. And then the last one that we are bringing is Board Policy KK, the Visitors to District Facilities Policy. Here we had some old language regarding grandparents and coming into cafeterias is important for us to kind of get that in alignment with our practices. And then again, you'll see changes to align the pronouns in there. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Director Kassim?
What is the current policy for the grandparents that you just referenced, that you were trying to align the Like in practice, I meant, sorry.
Yeah, so the language that was in the existing policy talks about a grandparent being able to come and have lunch. We, in buildings, highly discourage parents, grandparents, others from coming and having lunch with students, particularly in our elementary schools. It can be extremely disruptive to a student's day, to other students' days. We have had a variety of different issues with having parents in the lunchroom, and so it's just not best practice to do that. Unfortunately, we communicated that to all of our schools, and they all know that, but that language was still in the policy, which was creating a little bit of tension with some folks that wanted to be able to exercise that option.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Perez?
For IGBH, I had put in a question into our sheet, just wondering about, for IGBHE, I had a question in the sheet around, how is this one different? I was trying to understand and it could be offline too, because I was trying to understand the program as opposed to, how we have H21 for some of our policies, and this one's only for those that haven't graduated yet. That particular policy speaks only to those that haven't graduated, have this option of extended options programs. But I know we had some programs that are expanded, but it can be for students that are up to age 21. So I didn't know how these kind of fit, or they're totally separate. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So my understanding is that if we are able to serve students beyond, up to age 21, those students could still be served by programs that would be related to this. I know that I could ask Dr. Reggiani if she has.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah, no, I knew that was correct, but I didn't know if you had additional things to.
And I didn't, because when I read that one, it said something about you could only be a certain age in that, when I read IGBHE, it talks about a specific age. And so I didn't know if I was just missing something or if that's actually, I just wanted to make sure the two policies align with the age
Up to age
part.
21. They're all,
Yeah, I
every
believe that they
program
are
up to
all
age
in
21.
alignment, but we can double check that and make sure to get an answer to you in the sheet before we bring
Perfect.
it back.
Okay,
But
that was my question, because I didn't.
Are in alignment.
That was I'm just trying to understand I want to make sure that they have the access to it. And I didn't
Absolutely.
know if they were aligning.
Yeah, as far as
Okay.
I understand, they are in alignment with each other, but if there's any question about that, we'll make sure to get that answered for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other questions? And you have an opportunity to send that in the emails too, or our question board.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Thank you, Camelia, and thank you, Carrie. Next up is the comments and committee reports by board members. And any board member would like to say something about anything there, well, this is the time they can give their comment. And we can start with Dr. Trong. We can go this way.
Thank you. I'm new to this, so trying to figure this out. But thank you for this honor, and thank you for the honor to be able to serve. I'm filled with gratitude and a deep sense of responsibility as I take on the role as Beaverton School District Director, Board Director. So first and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the teachers and staff, to the community members, parents, and the voters who put their trust in me. And I want to really thank my extraordinary campaign team, also known as my kitchen cabinet, which is the term I learned during my campaign, and many students that I have talked to. Your support means the world to me, and I'm committed to serving our students, and so they can have actually more opportunities than me. Your support means the world to me, and I'm committed to serving our students. And as I take this oath, I'm reminded of the crucial role education plays in shaping our future. We're tasked with a great responsibility to ensure that every student has access to a quality education, support, and opportunity to succeed. So together with the rest of the board, the administration, the teachers, staff, parents, community, I truly believe that we can make a positive impact on our students' life. And this is not an easy time for public education, but together we can do it. And thank you so much.
Hi, good evening, everybody. First, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to our classified staff and educators for their incredible work this summer. Your dedication ensured our students received nutrition, transportation, education, and care. Each are a vital part of their success and well-being. A special thank you to Justice and Sunita for serving on the OSCA as our OSCA board reps, and to our BSD and OSCA teams. Thank you for your dedication and hours spent in the bargaining process, which received an outstanding over 94% approval. Congratulations to Kirsty, OSCA president, the entire team for securing many important wins as you were naming for our students and staff. As we welcome new educators and celebrate the return of our dedicated staff, I'm inspired by the care and craft that they pour into preparation for the next generation. Your commitment is a foundation to our district's strengths. We're also beginning, we're in the beginning of our long-range facilities planning process, which will span the next 2 years. This is just the start, and we are committed to ensuring our facilities reflect the excellence of our students, that our students deserve. Above all, I want to center the students in this message. Every decision we make, every plan we build, and every effort we undertake is for them. Thank you also to our educators for being the heart of the mission. Thanks.
Director Raji.
Thank you. One, I want to say welcome our new board colleagues. I know this is your first meeting in person. I'm looking forward to the heavy work of administering a school district from up here and everything that comes with it. Thank you for your service and being here tonight, and also thank you to your families for sharing, making space for you to, contribute to the community. To our new leadership, the BEA, I'm happy to, I've met you before, but, not in this role, so I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to touch base. Kirsty and the OSCA leadership, looking forward to having an opportunity to touch base with you, not in observation, as we've been in observation the first 2 years of my life serving here. So hopefully we can just have a coffee and a conversation when the time is right. In addition, I think it's an appropriate time to say as we start the school year, we are in a national climate that is openly hostile to public schools. We have had scares and challenges. Things are going to come our way. I remain my email address. No piece of public contact that's available to reach me has ever changed. And I welcome contact with the community. Also, in the other worlds that I exist in, I may reach out to people to do things. So we owe it to our kids to work on all the ways we can in our community that they are going to be a part of leading at some point in the future. And I also look forward to when our youth representatives join us for this year. I know that will be coming soon. So thank you all for your service. Peace.
Thanks, Justice. Dr. Porter.
Thank you, everyone. I also want to welcome our new folks to the board. Thank you for joining us up here and taking your time to serve our community. We're very happy to have you all on board. Our community is better served with all of us coming together and working together from our different perspectives to best serve our students and our families. And thank you to the board leadership. It's an amazing amount of work. So thank you to Karen for previous year's service, and welcome Sunita, and welcome back, Justice, to the role. We really appreciate everything you're doing on our behalf. I want to recognize that the legislative session ended in June, and it was a tough legislative session. It didn't bring forth all of the funds that we were hoping and eagerly awaiting. However, public education in the state of Oregon did come out in as best of possible way, considering all the pressures that our legislators had pushing against them. And so in particular, we were able to, in a collaborative effort between all of the parties who are supporting education in Oregon, push to consider a current service level, the CSL. And that seems really boring. It seems very bureaucratic, but it really is an investment in future structures with our systems within Oregon to have a more stable funding pattern for public education. So, and again, that's not very shiny for our legislators to push for, but they did anyway. And We really appreciate that. The same goes for summer learning. Again, a lot of funds didn't come with that, but the structure for future funding has been established so that hopefully we can have a more predictable pattern for summer learning, and that will help our community and our kids too. So if you see our legislators, thank them. They don't get enough gratitude because they really have had our backs this legislative session. I also want to thank all of the enormous work that our staff has done to be able to get our schools ready for the school year, and I'm just really excited for the year to come.
Thank you. Director Cossin?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Garg. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to start by really thanking my family and friends who showed up tonight to help watch get me sworn in and celebrate this occasion. I do not take it lightly, the honor of being able to serve with this esteemed board, which I believe is one of the most diverse board, at least in the state, and quite diverse in many ways. So I really want to cherish that part of it this evening. So definitely want to thank family and friends and the community who supported me during the journey in getting here. And I want to acknowledge you, and I want to tell you that I see you and I value you, and I cherish the support, and I will do what I can to honor and earn every aspect of it. I also want to thank my new board colleagues for their warm welcome, for all the kind words, and congratulate the new leadership on their roles, and thank them for making this process easy and accessible as I have onboarded. Thank you. I look forward to serving with you, and I look forward to learning from you as much as I can, and engaging with curiosity and always an open mind. I also want to thank Superintendent Balderas and his leadership team for, again, all your support and help with the onboarding, answering all the questions, putting up with the details that I sometimes like to foray into. I will continue to be mindful of them, but always hopefully engage thoughtfully and ask questions in a manner that you find easy to answer. So thank you again to the team. Thank you also to the union leaders, Kirsty and Katie, I see you. Thank you very much for your testimony this evening, for your support, for representing your communities, for the work that you do. I see you, and again, I deeply appreciate you. And lastly, I really wanted to thank everyone who showed up today, but a lot of them have left, so hopefully they'll watch it in retrospect. But I did want to really, again, underscore the fact that it takes a lot to show up. And I personally, in my journey in life, have learned that leadership or any kind of impact that you have starts with showing up. So I appreciate everyone showing up. I appreciate everyone who gave testimony today. I want you all to know that I hear you. I receive what you have shared, and I personally will do what I can to carry those words as we do the work to make sure that the community feels connected, engaged, heard, and seen, because that is the value and the importance of the work. And thanks again.
Thank you. Dr. Carpenter?
Thank you. Yeah, just to pile on, really want to appreciate my collaboration with you, Kirsty. Really, we've been digging in this past year especially, so really value that. And Katie, super excited to have you and Troy. Katie, you know how much I leaned into the relationship with BEA leadership in my first 2 years, and so just going to be counting on having that going forward. Honestly, it's probably the most important thing that informs how I move up here. You guys are with our students every day, and you represent the teachers that are with our students every day. And so hearing from you and understanding how best to support you and your colleagues is how I know is the best way to support our students. So really appreciate this relationship. Also, just want to acknowledge coming back to school is going to be maybe a little more stressful than usual for a lot of our families. And it's really, really hard. I'm sorry that it's been so hard. And your students are safe in our schools. I just want to say that again. Your students are safe in our schools. We have worked really hard to have so many layers of protection. Every time I meet with Dr. Balderas, that is what I'm talking about, is how we can ensure that our students are safe. And please come to school. We are a safe space, we are a sanctuary school, and we are committed to your safety. So hope to see you in class in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Carpenter. I would like to say that we don't usually get a chance to thank our family members. They're not here anymore, they left. But if they are seeing, I really, really want to thank each and every one. Because of your support, we can be here serving our students. And I really appreciate that, each and every one who showed up today and who are at home also supporting us. I want to welcome our 2 new board members. They are amazing already. I'm so impressed. And thank you to Dr. Karen Perez for running again. And I think I'm very fortunate that in this role I have support from such amazing people. Our board is so great. And the staff, Dr. Balderas and his team, everybody has been so helpful. I want to congratulate Katie for on her new role, and Kirsty, we got almost 95% approval rate. Thank you for wonderful work, and thanks to the board member for making for the special meeting in July. So all the OSCA staff, we appreciate you. We see you. You guys do such a wonderful job. One thing that I would like to say, in the summertime, I had an opportunity to meet Lauren Garrett. She's a BEF, Beaverton Education Foundation Director. And I just want to take 2 minutes about it because it's such a wonderful organization that supports our schools. So if you are looking for an organization, a nonprofit organization that you want to connect with, they are wonderful because, and if you're a Beaverton resident, if you want to support Beaverton schools, they have their Project Impact a report out for 24-25, where they list all the projects that they have worked on and how they have made an impact to our Beaverton School District kids. So I think it's a good organization to get to know and work with. With that, I look forward to working with this amazing board and this amazing district together to do wonderful things for our students next year. Thank you. And good night. Dr. Balderas, would you like to?
Just really quickly, I know that we had a public comment tonight. I usually don't comment on public comments, but just to make sure the board's aware that after every bill, there is a team that gets together and reviews the educational specifications. And it's a pretty extensive process that involves a lot of people, a lot of community, to make sure that we are at the right size down, because again, 10 years ago, we're at different times. So I appreciate the public comment, and I do agree. I think you'll find staff that will agree to that as well, because it's a standard operating procedure that districts do. So we will be convening after this cycle a refresh of the educational specifications, which is standard operating procedure. So that will happen. That will happen, because I don't disagree that with declining enrollment, you have to look at where we're at with buildings. And this community supports construction. And that's what makes this community very special. And we'll continue to build. We may just need to build a little smaller. So just thank you. Just want to just add that.
With no other agenda items, the August 12th, 2025 business meeting of the Beaverton School District is adjourned at 8:18